A real property owner dies, there are forms that should be filed, timelines that need to be met, and decisions that need to be made. How are you supposed to know what's what when you've never dealt with anything like this before? Hi, my name is Adrienne Marks. I'm a local real estate broker here in Southern California. In today's video, we will go over 6 questions many people have when dealing with the estate of a loved one. Stay tuned until the end of this video for a free guide that will help you understand the process as well as give you suggestions for managing the emotional side of the process. Okay, the first question is, will the tax assessor revalue the property? Let's face it, the local authorities want to increase their revenue any chance they can get. Fortunately, we have Prop 58 or Prop 193 that can stop the reassessment. You would use Prop 58 if it's a transfer from parent to child, and you would use Prop 193 if it's a transfer from grandparent to grandchild. Now, a change of ownership form must be filed with the county within 150 days of the date of death. Even though you have 3 years to file Prop 58 or 193, it's best to file it at the same time as the change in ownership. Question number 2, should you keep the property or sell it? That's a question that only you can answer. Some things to consider are, would you plan on living in the property yourself or rent it out? What type of repairs may need to be made, whether you sell it, live in it, or rent it? There are many options to choose from, so be sure to find someone who can help you review all of the different options and come up with the best solution for you. Okay, question 3. Does the probate court control when I can sell and for how much? The answer is it depends. Most probate cases don't require court involvement. What it really comes down to is whether the court has given full authority or limited authority. And that really determines how involved the court's going to be in the process. In the end, the court will still oversee the distribution of the proceeds from the sale of the property. Question 4, do I need to clean up the property? In short, no you don't. Any house being sold in California is sold as is, and especially if it is in the probate process. If you have full authority and do plan to sell the property, it might be worthwhile to study what price the property can be sold for in its current state versus making some repairs or updates. Maybe it'll be worth it for you. Maybe the difference in price isn't worth all the work involved. At least you'll be making an informed decision. Okay, question 5. How long does it take to sell a property? Every market is different. The type of property, location, and condition all play factors in how long it will take to sell. The other thing that can affect the sale of real estate is the market itself. Is it a seller's market, a buyer's market, a normal market? Be sure to ask your real estate agent for an overview of the market in your area, as well as a detailed look at what's happening in your specific neighborhood and price point. For example, right now in Orange County, overall, it's still a seller's market. But depending on the price point or even the neighborhood, your property might actually fall into a buyer's market. So you need to know how many days is it taking in your area to sell a property? How close to the asking price are buyers actually paying? What properties will you be competing with? A well-versed real estate agent will be able to provide this data and explain what it means to you. Okay, the last question for today. Should we hire any agent to sell the house? In the end, you need to do whatever is right for you. Be aware that selling a house that's in probate is very different than selling a house that's not in probate. There are timelines, forms, attorneys to be dealt with, probate court requirements, inventory, a special overbidding process. These are all things that only a probate specialist will know how to navigate through. Using a certified probate specialist will ease the stress of the process for you, and they will usually have a team of experts to help. For instance, a CPA, a probate attorney, an estate sale company, trash removal, contractors or investors. So all of their team will be there to assist you. It's just not possible to address all the questions that come up when dealing with the estate of a loved one in this short video. Questions like, what's the probate process? What does the executor or administrator need to do? What's the difference between an executor or an administrator? Can a house be sold while it's in probate? How much does the probate cost? The list goes on and on. Now, the good news is I do plan on reviewing other questions in future videos, so be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you'll be notified when new videos are dropped. Now, for your free guide that I mentioned earlier, in the description box below, you'll find a link to request your free copy of How to Handle the Estate of a Deceased Loved One. It'll be delivered to your inbox within a few minutes of completing the form. And if you don't receive it for some reason, you can reach out to me directly and I'll be sure to get a copy to you right away. If you're watching this video, it's very likely that you or someone you know is right in the middle of this difficult task. I understand how hard it can be. If there are any questions you have that weren't covered in today's video, you can post your questions below or you can call me at 714-396-2819 and I'm happy to help however I can. That wraps up today's video. Thank you for tuning in and I'll see you next week.